side or the medical side of it. And today we got a very elegant lady who has been in this business for some time, doing very well in Malaysia, and I know also in Philippines and in Thailand. She is Connie 6A3. She does a lot of cooking, and she is well known as a celebrity chef. Not only that, she's also Malaysia's queen of fermentation. You should listen to her when she talk about uh, making enzymes for our good health. And today she's got something wonderful to share with us. Her topic for today will be business mindset. Connie, if you are ready, you can begin to share.
Hi,
We are all looking forward to your wonderful sharing. Thank you, Connie.
thank you for this space, Michael and Samsia. I would like to check if you all could hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, okay. Now, for the next 30 minutes or so, or to 40 minutes, depending on how much I can deliver today, I would like to request that you are totally present with me for this short space of time. Yeah, because I may have and I may not have. However, we always look for the best information, like also telling yourself that through this Connie's presentation, I want to only be able to capture the best. Sometimes it could be just 1%. Okay, why I'm saying this is because all my life I have been attending some courses and all that, and I know that I won't be able to remember everything. But each seminar, each training, I bring back 1%, and I still haven't finished using them. Okay. And also, like let's say, for example, if you look into the space, shut your eyes, quiet your mind. And if your mind is quieter, you'll be able to see some tiny particle. It's so tiny that it's all over in front of you. They are energy, and they are either white dots or black dots. This was told by a Qigong master, you know, when we went up trekking one day, and after trekking, he said, okay, just look into the space, shut your eyes. And at first we were like, what's there to see? What energy are you talking about? He just said, just quiet your mind and watch it. And really, we saw so many, they are called the energy in the world of the Qigong and energy, right? So even when you're sleeping, when you're in total darkness, you can also see that as well. So once you do that, you say, I only want to attract the white dots, the white energy, the good energy. That's it. Yeah. So be uprighted and be mindful. What I'm sharing today is very easy, okay? Simple, but if it is from my humble sharing, that maybe I am insufficient, and you will see that you can do more than me. So that itself is a motivation, right? And I'm not really in the high up ranking, okay? If you want to learn even more, of course, the best person is Sam Sia or even Michael Saw, because your ranking is one higher than me, yeah? So anyway, I would like to divide into 3 parts, in fact, 4 parts. My current, my past, and the future. Okay. Now, always remember that even like Samsia has just said today, that your past does not equal to future, which is true, especially now at this pandemic, pandemic time. You know, all that we have learned, all that we knew, you probably have to really chuck it aside, do an energy clearance in order to go into the future. And now this is the time, really, you know. Now, currently, I would like to show you my photo first, yeah. Let me do a screen sharing. This is my second time presenting via Zoom. You know, in the past, we used to be presenting to live audiences, and it was so easy because I could just look at the PowerPoint and look at everyone in the eyes. But now I'm looking at myself. Okay, and also, yeah. Yeah, this is my before and after. The first picture, the one on the left it was in 2019. The one on the right is 2014. And I haven't changed this. I've not shown anyone my latest photo because you can see me now. Okay, let me close for time being. Okay. Oops, where am I? Please pardon me. I'm trying to find myself. Where am I supposed to be? Oh, I can't see myself. Okay. All right. So, so that was 2009 and 2014. Can you see me that have I looked more aged than that? So this is my I'm 59 this year. So by next year, in a few more months, I'm going to be 60 years old. So this is I'm first and foremost the most happy and the satisfied customer. Yeah. And let me share a little bit of my testimonial. Of course, way back in 9.5 years ago, we had no idea about what these several waters can do. So, I mean, I'm a water person, but I used to think that all the waters are the same. So when somebody magnified the goodness of the waters, and it was like, is it real? Is it real? You know, not until you experience it, like Judy Fleming of Singapore, who have just shared, not until you experience it and you'll be like, wow, it's a whole new world. And I used to be a sick person because I was having an autoimmune disease back in the 80s. And I even had a major operation, removal of a kind of a gland behind my sternum. So what the doctors had conditioned me was that I would be taking medication for whole life. And eventually this sickness might have a relapse and come back to me. And what happened to those people who had relapsed? I asked them, asked the doctors. He said, oh, wow, they are bedridden. They have this oxygen tube through their throat. And then, you know, you have to throw the waste out through another tube. So I was really scared to imagine all that scenario. And anyway, I make the best decision of my life. I stopped taking all those medication and look at how healthy I am. You cannot imagine that those days I was like, I cannot be looking at you this way. I have to lift up my head because my eyelids will be drooping. You know, I cannot hold something, have a grip because it will slip out of my hands, you know. So I can do mountain climbing now. I have lots of energy over the roof all the time. So my little, most obvious testimonial is my knee pain. My severe right knee pain went away until today, never came back. I mean, that's why I said earlier on, life is so simple. If you just look at it simple, because some people they are so worried that they go outside, you know, they seek for doctor's help, and it must be someone voices to be able to help them. So, and the second thing was my menopause. It was a beautiful transition. Do I look like somebody who was having menopause? So again, this is really the best water for the menopause people. Now, currently, I am not one of the top distributors. Okay. However, over the years, I have enjoyed great lifestyle living. I do not have lots of commitments or overhead. Okay, because we up to this age, you have seen how life has transformed, things happening in the market. So I do not give myself a lot of stress or overcommitment, but I enjoy life. So I do not wait for until that day to happen. So as early as when I started the business, when I was a 2A distributor, a 3A distributor, I have already started going for holidays and plow back into the business. That's why I was able to travel to several countries with a Kangen water machine. Wherever there is a tap, there is a faucet. You just hook up your machine, you can do a demo, and you can do the business. So I started in Thailand. I only had one friend. In fact, I would say that the majority of my market today, I would say 95% are strangers market. Because you know what to do when you do not have the inner circle, your warm market to support you. But life goes on. Because when you really think through and through about this business and the outcome, you want to find ways and means to do it. And so I started to develop the Thai market by whenever I have some income, I will buy air ticket and fly over to Thailand and build the market there. Like I would be staying for 1 month or 2 months, and until today, 7 years. Well, I became a 682 in Thailand, a market that started quite similar same time as in Malaysia, but despite everybody saying that Thai market is really bad because it is not as dynamic as any other countries. However, I became a 682 in Thailand. So I only knew one person, and the rest of the people were strangers. And so I managed to enjoy my life at the same time. Remember a saying that says that when you climb the mountains, you don't want to just look straight at the peak. You want to enjoy the scenery as well. So I have traveled to many countries, sometimes on business, sometimes just holiday. Holiday means no hurry. 1 month, 2 months, that kind of things. Totally enjoy and sink myself into that culture of the country. And this business has also allowed me, the Enagic business has allowed me to have a personal growth as a better person. You're not just earning money, because what are you going to do with so much money? Because right now at our age, if there are millions that drop from the sky, you ask yourself, how much can you spend? And where are you going to bring it to? We cannot bring along with us to the other side of the world. So the personal growth is very important because you still want to be a real human being. And personal growth means I have time to grow my hobby. My hobby is making live food, living food. All this has to do with Kangen water as well. Now, let me show you why I have been called a celebrity chef. Not that I at first I was really shy to embrace this title because I'm not a trained chef. Yet, because of some of the competitions I was in, and some of my friends who ate my food and they felt touched because Kangen water can make clean tasting food that will touch your heart and soul. So let me show you a little bit of my journey. Well, okay, wait. Okay, I'm supposed to share. I cannot see the share button at the bottom.
Come on, maybe you can help Connie on this.
So what am I supposed to do to go back to the big screen? Wait.
Aman, if you are there, can you
Click on
please help
share.
guide Connie on the steps that she got to take?
So I'm actually in this 6 small boxes, and I'm unable to go back to the big screen where I can share my screen. Oh, new share. Okay.
Do you want to share? Do you want to share from your PowerPoint, or you just want to disable it?
From my PowerPoint now. Okay, I'm back into my PowerPoint, so I shall not get out.
Okay, so you just click on the PowerPoint. You go to your PowerPoint, and you click
It's
on the.
done now.
Sure.
It's done now.
You can click on it. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So this was my first cooking competition. At that time, I was 52 years old. When I used to think that at the age of 50 and above, it is a sunset years. And what can life possibly happen to me? You know, it's kind of like not so optimistic, you know, gray hair and all that. And I became a fan of Asian Food Channel at that time, but now they're called Asian Food Network. So to cut the story short, you know, if somebody asks you to, although you know a bit of cooking, but someone praise you and then say you should take part in a cooking competition, would you do it? You know, most of the time you will say no, 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 right? But anyway, I think that I would like to say that this whole journey has been God's arrangement. Okay, so somehow I just say yes, and I got number 1. That was in Kuala Lumpur. It's called Foodie Face Off, Foodie Face Off Kuala Lumpur 2013. And guess what was the ingredient? The ingredient that was using, the secret ingredient. I asked them if I was able to bring my own ingredients. They say yes. So I brought along Kangen water 9.5, Kangen water 11.5, and 2.5. So they love my food. So I got number 1. Next was a reality show. Again, you know, when we used to watch the reality shows on the TV, it is easy to be critics. You know, have you ever asked yourself can you imagine yourself on a TV in a reality show? No, no way, Jose. You know, because first of all, you want to win. I mean, if you look at the challenges, they say, no way. You look at the Apprentice hosted by Donald Trump, they say, oh, wow, my God, all these people are so overly qualified. And so he said, no way, I'm going to shame myself in front of audience on the TV. But then again, I said, this is like some kind of arrangement that I say yes, because I thought because of my first winning, and they asked me a question, Connie, would you like to travel and eat at the same time? I said, of course, no, wow, right? So they didn't tell us a lot of things. It was only when I got there, I realized that, hey, you know, it is a reality show where, you know, you're competing with 9 other people. And I was the oldest then. I was 53 years old. The youngest was a lady from Peru. She was 25 years old then. So let me just show you a little bit of that, that video. Okay, watch it. right. So I was competing with all these young people. At the age of 53, I got into top 3. And yeah, so how did I help myself throughout the competition? It was the Kangen water. I had a machine in my hotel room, and I did not share with anyone else. I actually said that, you know, you guys, if you need water, you can come to my room and pick it up, but I will not push too much because some of them may have a healing crisis. I don't want to be the one to be blamed, you know, because when you're in a competition, you need to keep yourself at top form. So with all those challenges and under scorching hot sun during the cooking competition, and I came up 3rd. And bear in mind that I had no idea about what Philippine food was all about. Next was in Singapore, when I took part in Indian cooking competition. I never cooked Indian food before. And some of you, my fellow Indian distributors, I'm sure you know about the Colors TV, which is the Indian cable TV worldwide for the Indians. So I was in Singapore competing with 9 other Indian Singaporean ladies, and I got 1st. Okay, and I'm the only Malaysian. So I was cooking for the host, and he was the one who decided. And what I did was, with all these ingredients, I cleaned every single ingredient the night before, and the next day was just straight into cooking. So his expression was, Kumar's expression was that, wow, you know, so I got number 1. Now, let's say, let me bring you onto this time machine to my past about the business mindset, how I have been doing several kind of businesses. And I've been doing several kind of business as early as the age of when I was in primary school. So those days we had very little pocket money. So I managed to save some money, like 50 cents, and buy some groundnuts. I froze and fried the groundnuts, and I sealed into a small plastic bag, 10 packs, and I could sell for 20 cents per pack. And then after that, I make a profit of one ringgit 50 cents. Right. So in order to sell the second batch, I need to spend the costing of another 50 cents to earn another 150. Likewise, you know, subsequent after that. Now, if you look into something so small, you look at Kangen business. Imagine the Kangen water machine is the groundnuts of 50 cents. However, you do not need to keep on buying the machine to do the business. The worst case scenario is you earn back all your capital the money that you invested in the machine. And after that, every machine is net income for you, minusing, you know, the coffee money or some traveling money that you need to spend, right? Those are very, very basic necessities. So Inajic's investment is only one time. So every time when you turn on the tap, there's a chance of making money. Imagine if your whole team is also turning on the tap, doing demos and talk to people. Some, they manage to find lots of buyers. Some manage to find a few sellers. Wow, these few sellers will bring in more buyers. You know, so it's only one-time investment in this business. So I'm going to share with you much later on why I'm feeling so relaxed in this business. My second selling was during school days, secondary school. I didn't have cameras, but I had interest on photography. So what happened was I borrowed someone's camera and I took pictures of events. I volunteer myself. When there are some clubs, events, I said, can I take pictures for you? I become your official photographers. And I took, you know, those days what was expensive was the films, not the camera, because the camera was borrowed. So there's no cost to that. So with the film, I took photos, and I like to take group photos, because when you take one group photo, if there are 10 people or 20 people, 20 people will buy from you. If you take a single person, that single one person will buy from you. So I try to avoid taking single photos. I like to take group photos. So I make some money from there. So again, this is a kind of transaction, because a business transaction with the mindset that it first started with an idea. You know, an idea is, why do you want to do that? And what is the outcome that you want to achieve? You want to make money. With the money, you want to do something else, right? So this is a very basic fundamental of business in whatever businesses that you are doing, not just in an Enagic business. So, and I started working in an advertising firm. Now, in my whole life, I have been unemployed. I have been employable for just not more than 5 jobs. And I find it very difficult to be on time, to go to work and doing something so rigid. So my criteria, if you ask me, what are my criteria? Because at every EKW, you'll be asked at the last training, at the end of the training, what are the criteria of your ideal business? For me is, I must be able to get up at the time that I choose to, when my body has rested enough. Secondly, I must not go to sleep with worries about tomorrow. Because if you're doing any other businesses, you cannot go to sleep in peace. You know, if you're doing a restaurant business, oh my God, who is not coming tomorrow? Oh my God, this and that. So you always go with a tension to try to sleep, and yet you cannot sleep. So I don't want to do that. Thirdly, the business must not have inventory, must not have another space to keep up those stocks, because those stocks is money. So you keep on having to have that stocks in order to churn out money. So it's the money stuck there. So all my life, whenever anyone who asks me to do business, I ask first, do I need to keep inventory? So can you see the Enagic business is so ideal for me? And advertising firm, I did flower business before. Somebody was supposedly giving me a share, but ended up doing the most work. I still remember when I was doing flower business, there were not many tall buildings. There were only 3 tall buildings in the southern part of Malaysia. And I went up to the highest floor, 20 something. And I took a lift up to the highest floor. And then floor by floor, I came down. I went to all the offices, give them my name cards. So that was how I did my marketing, and the sales came in later on. It may not be immediate, but it came back later on because I dressed up properly. I was wearing high heels, and floor by floor, I walked down to the bottom floor. Just three tall buildings at that time. And then I was a professional tour guide. And then eventually I became a fashion designer, where I had my own shop as well. Well, when I started doing the fashion designing, I had a partner, and I did not have enough money, of course, and so I borrowed money. Now, the thing is, when you borrow money, you know that when you start a business, you need to have a sum of money to pay for the rental, the deposit, and everything. And then for the staff, last is you might not even be paid, because you always have to prepare to have a cash flow for 6 months and 8 months and following after that. You know, you try to eat into your saving. That's why I needed to do a part-time tour guiding. And when eventually I had to stop the business because I was pregnant, I got married and had to stop the business. And can you imagine when you are so at that such little time, you have no chance to get someone to buy at the value that you pay up initially. So it's always at a loss. So at a loss, not only at a loss, on top of that, sometimes you lose friendship as well. How many times I've seen partnership businesses where eventually out of passion, you know, and love, and everybody come together, but after that, they just became enemy. So that's why I always say, do not have partnership. You know, whatever chosen business that you can, no matter how good friendship that you have, retain the friendship so that you can still drink coffee together next time and talk about anything under the sky. And of course, after that, I was in a restaurant business, 2 kind of a restaurant business. If you ask me to talk, although everybody call me a celebrity chef, and when are you going to open your new one? You know what? If talking and thinking about opening a food business, it give me a withdrawal syndromes. You know, what is withdrawal syndrome? It's terrible. And I cannot bring myself back to those times. You know, even now at this time, at this period of time, and so many businesses, I mean, the food businesses are suffering. Not on top of that, you know, you become so tired. You become so tired when you come back home, you're like a dead corpse. I still remember so vividly. So I'm done with the restaurant business. So even if that is the last, if I have a choice, I will not go into that. And then I did my first direct sales business. And because of my past business experiences, I didn't really take it like a direct sales where I needed help from anyone. So it is a different model. So, and I even volunteered to do the business because I saw the concept of the product. So I told my friend, I want to join this business. Wow, so little investment only. Okay. I joined. And then after that, I started to read up more. And I took the time to visit the factory, to visit some of the top leaders at that time, find out the journey, how short or how long. And I bought a lot of books to study about network marketing businesses. So now it is so simple because at that time we didn't have a GoPro, we didn't have Eric Worre. Now it's so simple. You just turn on you don't have to buy books anymore. If you're the audio listening type, you know, you just listen to what Eric Worre has to say. So that was my first direct sales experience. And that was my first and my last until Inajik, because I cannot deal, I'm unable to deal with a business that has so many products, like healthful supplement, healthful supplement, household products, cosmetics, whatever. So I can only deal with one product. And so the next business, this is also by chance, because if the water didn't help me, I wouldn't have think further. And also because during the time when I first started, I didn't really think about doing the business. But about 2-3 years later, when I saw people getting much better in their health, and it's real, and then people are starting to make money in the business. So I plunged in to do the business. Also at that time, I was trying to build my image consulting business. And then I was an event organizer, and I also did selling number plates. You know, in Malaysia, this is considered illegal, but for the car enthusiasts, you know, they want to have cosmetic for the car. They love to have something unique, like a number plates with stainless steel fonts. So I went to, this is cold calling. I traveled throughout Malaysia. Wherever there was any car accessory shop, I would just walk in and say, I have this product. Would you like to, you know, have it? So don't worry, we will give you consignment. So it was selling very well. Yet, you know, with the consignments, they owe you money, 3 to 6 months. I say, oh my God. Can you imagine having to go to some of the remotest places just to chase money? And then I also worked for Starbucks because I wanted to do a cafe business. I wanted to know what coffee is all about. So I was the oldest Starbucks barista, understanding about coffee, short time. And I was in property line. So again, when I was in the property line, I was very self-motivated. And I seldom go to the office. I bought, with so little money, I bought the best camera at that time in order to shoot pictures of properties that I was marketing. And I bought a fax machine, a phone, and also I would design my own banner to make myself look more outstanding. So the property that my experience principal said that I should not consider marketing, I did it, and I sold that property because it was a mindset. Because I was a negotiator, I was not a price taker. I helped my clients. I solved their problems. So I was like a consultant then. I sold the biggest property of my life and earned the most money with that property that everyone else say do not sell because it looks like a ghost house. It looks like a ghost mansion. There was a big pylon at the back. So next was my image consulting business. So that was at that time when I got to know about Kangen water, but I was still wanting to, when you spend so much money investing into learning, and of course you want to stick to that. But then after a while, I really realized that, hey, I could start all over again at the age of 50. Oh my God, I need to market myself again. So at that time, my property business was going downwards because I was preparing myself for this business. And then, so there was a period of struggle. And then after that, I decided to do Kangen water business all out. Yeah. So some of my guiding principle in my life, because I have attended some trainings like Anthony Robbins, Unleash Your Power Within in 2000, and have also attended NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and Mind Over Matters. And like I said earlier on, if you just grasp 1% of that, it will last you forever. That's why even until today, I'm like a fire, I'm a fire, never cease. No need to put extra charcoal to burn. I'm self-burning. Nobody need to tell me that nobody actually need to console me or motivate me, because it's self-motivation in the chosen field, chosen a career that you want to build. So first thing was the selling mindset. Some of you may have heard about the selling shoes in Africa. Has everybody heard this story before? If you have not heard of this story before, could you just click the hand sign? Although I cannot see the full screen. Have you all heard of that? Okay, I see somebody raising hand. Now, okay, so let's say, for example, when we talk about selling, who decides the market? When there is a product, there is a market. And this story always motivated me until today. Selling shoes in Africa. This was a shoe manufacturer. He wanted to expand the business in Africa to African countries. So he sent the first one to Uganda. So the first salesman, upon arrival and came out of the airplane, he said, "Oh my God, nobody wears shoes." So he immediately telephoned, the boss said, "Sorry, boss, no one wears shoes here. There's no market. Please send me back." And the second salesman went to Ethiopia, let's say. And the moment he came out of the plane, he said, "Oh my God, oh my goodness, nobody wears shoes. I need to teach them how to wear shoes." And he said, "Boss, send me 2 containers loads of shoes. I want to start the market here." Yeah, so does that inspire you? The next one is selling combs to the monks. Have you heard of this story before? How do you sell comb to the monk? Because they have no hair. If you have not heard of this story, could you also raise your hand? Okay, so this is a story to tell you to think outside the box in your already conditioned mind, right? Do you really think that when you sell the product, it's just for that person usage? What about the people around him? You could create a marketing story, like let's say, for example, the monks, right? Because in the temple, people generally donate a lot of money, but they do not know what to give them in return. So could comb be used as a gesture of giving, to the donors, right? Or donating to other organizations from the temple. Okay, so this also has inspired me. Many more. The next one is assumptions is the dangerous things. Okay, do not make assumption. Now let me just share with you this story, because this was a training that I took part in 1990 something. It was very motivational workshop, life-changing for me. So assumption, let's say imagine this scenario. What are you thinking? And there's a hole. A stick is put into the hole. And after that, there's a lot of water coming out. What do you think about this story? So we were all thinking about the other side. We were all thinking about a man caressing a woman. So we were also fixed with that mindset. So when the teacher told us, we were like, oh my God, I do not know where to bury my face. So it's about, you know, the faucet in the bathtub or in your sink, you know. You turn on, you test the water, the temperature of the water, in order to put the stick, the toothbrush into your mouth. And after that, you have to, there's a lot of water coming up because you need to gargle your mouth. All right. So with that, I always step back whenever I see a certain scenario or whenever I hear anything. So therefore, what I mean is, do not decide who will buy and who will not buy. Do not decide who can do the business and who cannot do the business. Always step back and rethink again. The second one is, don't think because you have no money and you think other people have no money too. Because you know everybody is talking about all the negative things, right? It's bad. So many people have lost their jobs and businesses are closed down. Even Robinson is 182 years old, the oldest shopping departmental store has also closed down recently. And wow, you know, I think the market has no money lah. Who is going to buy? But why can't you think about at least 1 or 2% of the people who have no money? The banker said to me, there are people who have no money. There are people who have lots of money. They do not know what to spend and cannot spend now. So they kept the money in the fixed deposit. So there are still people who buy houses, properties. There are still people who buy luxury items. You just go to the branded stores. You just see the queue outside. Although because of the SOP, the SOP, right? So you have to keep a distance, but there's the queue outside LV store, Chanel, and some other brands. Okay, so this was something that was told to me by one of my uplines in my past businesses, my past direct sales, stuck on me. And also the other thing is say no in a yes language. So as you can see that in my delivery, I hardly say anything negative. So this is also something I learned from NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Yeah, you can ask me later on if we still have time. Yeah. And unleash your power within. So when do you unleash your power? When do you unleash your potential? It is now, any moment now. You do not wait until things are really terrible, when financially you're down to almost nothing and you start to unleash it. There's a story, this story, some of you may have heard before. Also, this is so stuck in me. That's why every time when I'm a bit down, I think about this, I come up again very fast. So fast as the heart beats, because this was what I learned from Anthony Robbins. Because he asked, how long do you want to sustain this pain and this traumatizing experience or emotions? So we were asked, and then everybody said years, few months, few days, few seconds. And he said, how much more? When he gave us the answer, he said, in a second. Whoa, that's so fast. In a heartbeat, you can transform yourself from low to up. And so this story was about a thief. He was being chased by the policeman. The police chased him. He was running so fast until he came to the edge of the river. It was so wide, more than 6 or 7 feet. He just hopped over to the other side. And the policeman came to the edge of the river and said, oh my God, he couldn't jump over. He waited for a while and finally he left. What happened was this thief saw that the police left, he came out. He came to the edge. He couldn't jump across. So what does this story tell you? We can unleash the power, the potential in us anytime that we want to. We do not have to wait for emergency time. Next is this. How I've been tenacious enough in this business, because number one, the plan does not go to zero. So you just keep going. So it's just a matter of time, how much time you put into digging and finally reaching your first rank, your first, like let's say 1A, 2A, 3A, 6A, 6A, 2, 6A, 2-2, and until Sam's ranking, okay? So just do not give up. You have to be tenacious, because unless you have other choices, if you do not have, then just stay put and keep digging. You know, keep practicing yourself, keep making sure that you are able to convince people, or really not convince. We want to let people buy themselves, okay, that where they saw the value. Yeah. So never give up, and find reason to succeed instead of finding excuses for failures. So when you cannot do something, where do you a lot of people try to point, my uplines problem. The market has people have no money. There's always a lot of excuses to support your reason for not moving forward. So you must really find the reason. It could be just 101 or 1001 and 1,000,001 reason to do this business or to do the chosen business. Now, what is the Enagic business to you? Have you really seen it all? Or you're just like one of the 6 blind men who touch the certain parts of the elephant and say, this is just a trunk. This is just a tail. This is like a fan because it's really soft. So come and see the big picture. Come and see the big picture in EKW. Come and see the bigger picture in GoPro. And yeah, so my future, I've already said to you my gains in Enagic business. My future is, I keep traveling, because as I click onto the world map, I say, oh my God, there's so many countries that I'm not visited, and I'm turning 60, and how much time I have left on earth. Like Sam said, he wants to live up to 120 years. Unless all my friends are with me, okay? All my Enagic friends are with me at the age of 120 years. Anyway, we are unable to choose when we are going, okay? So we just have to keep ourselves healthy at the same time, and also have money to retire. Because you have to ask yourself one question: how much does it take for you to grow old and retire? Okay, you have to ask yourself first. And next thing is to have another AOMA, AOMA, all out massive action by next year, because I need to sort out some of the events that I'm happening, and by next year I'm going to have another AOMA, all out massive action in Enagic business. And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Connie, for sharing. Let's give Connie a big round of applause for wonderful sharing. Simple, from the heart, but I'm sure motivating to a lot of us. Connie,
Yeah.
can you have a group in Thailand? You also
Yes.
have a group in Philippines.
Yes.
At the very beginning stage of your business, you are already going overseas to build your Kangen business. Can you share with us one or two of your challenges that you've got to go through and break through?
Challenges would be because it takes time to build the relationship first. So initially would be no sales, but you need to park yourself there first. And of course, we are not like top leaders where you can visit or let your friend visit you at Shangri-La Hotel or Hyatt Hotel. You know, you stay in some cheap hotels and you don't want people to come and visit you at the hotel. You just go and meet them at the chosen location to meet them. And so just build relationship first, and really, I think there's really no challenges except that how much more money you have left to keep going and to build a same market.
Okay, and how's your group in Thailand or Philippines doing now, Connie?
Now, they are ongoing. I wouldn't say it's as dynamic as any other countries. Still, because when the seeds are already there, there will have a chance to sprout. Okay, as long as the seeds can sprout, it doesn't matter how much time. And eventually, when people who come to realization, and they will just explode the market. Right now, they are there. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm glad you shared something about patience. Maybe you have to have a lot of patience with a journey.
Oh, yes.
It may take some time for you to reach your goals, ultimate goals. But remember, good things take some time. I'm sure you can do it, Connie.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you're talking about NLP.
Yeah.
How does NLP help people like us in this business, Connie? Can you share with us one or two ideas?
NLP is a way of communication. I first learned, in fact, Anthony Robbins is using NLP in his teaching. NLP is about understanding the way of communication by another person. So it was used by the spies in the past, the spies of different countries where they have to immediately change themselves, emulate another personality. So, but of course, if somebody who have got not a good mindset, this can go sideways. Okay, but if you really look at it as a way of communicating, you look at your friends, how do they process the information, or how do they receive the information, through vision, to audio, or to feeling. So sometimes when you are in a classroom, or let's say when in seminar, you see that some people, they are looking downwards all the time. Some people are always looking upwards. Some people are staring at you. So it doesn't really mean that they're not paying attention. They are using the channel, the way to receive your information. So do not make assumption again that they are not paying attention at you. But so you can actually like ask them, are you still with me? Are you getting my information or my message? And also in the NLP, it taught us to understand that the map is not a territory. Let's say when you see a tree, okay, for example, a picture, you see a tree. You see a tree, that's all. That's our view, our perception, right? What if I enlarge the picture before? That's just like the tree, the coconut palm at the back of you, Michael saw. Okay, so this is what I see, right? Michael saw and the coconut palm. But if you enlarge the picture further, hey, you see people at the beach, they are doing sunset tanning and some beach chairs. And if you have the bigger picture beyond that, then it's something else. You see buildings, hotels, or some resorts. When you enlarge the picture bigger again, so never conclude what you just saw and what you just listened. Always step back and be understanding, be empathizing. And also presupposition. Do not assume, like exactly what I have said earlier on. Okay, these are the two most important things.
Thank you, Connie. Most of us would try to relate Kangen water with health issues, but you chose a different path.
Yeah.
You chose to relate Kangen water with food, focusing on food. Tell us what made you do this, and what are some of the benefits, that people can gain if we to also focus a bit on food with ladies, especially.
Now, food is important because if you do not have the right kind of food, when we talk about what you eat, it is really true. And without that good nutrition, and if you are eating dirty foods, how are you going to go further and to be someone who is really successful in life to teach others, you know? And of course, because I have been sick before, I have been in a hospital environment, I really stay out of that. In my mind, I'm only thinking about being healthy. I never imagine myself, I don't even have insurance, life insurance, because I never give myself an option whereby I think if I'm sick, or if I need to be staying near to the hospital because when I get old, I'm sick, I want to go to the hospital. No such imagination in my mind. My mind is only about healthy. So but I see that what is happening in the market is everybody focus on sickness. So of course that is your energy. But my energy is I want to be healthy. So I want to attract the bigger chunk of the market, which is prevention, because prevention is something that you don't see. You just pay a machine of this price, and some say very expensive. Okay. Everybody say expensive. You just go and see if you eat any food outside. I think we tend to have this habit of saying everything is expensive. So what is the value of that product? So so I want to be healthy, and I say to people that you can be healthy from this point onwards without having to worry about paying for medical fees, right? And for people who are sick, they already have the market, because a lot of people from all the other products, they will come and zoom in to help them eat this, take this, one cures all. I don't want to put myself into that situation. So far, I have one real cancer patient that is my son's friend's mother. He believed in us. So that is in Colombia. So I already have one seat in Colombia as well, in South America. So the mom came out of, like, she said, cancer free. So anyway, I like to promote on food, because wow, you just cannot imagine when all the entire spread of the food on the table is clean. Nothing was touched with the tap water. Everything was clean and spread with love, because when you're making, you have to give love to your food as well. That's why your food will smile at you, and that will give you health. So there is a bigger chunk of market out there on the prevention.
Great idea, Connie, because a lot of people say you are what you eat. If you're sick, you ate yourself to become sick. If you're
Yeah.
healthy, you ate to become healthy. Well,
Yes.
all good things have to come to an end. We would like to thank you once again. Let's all give another big hand to Connie for her wonderful sharing. And for all those who are enjoying your Thanksgiving, Sandy from California sends good wishes. All of you have a happy Thanksgiving Day. And for next week, we have a wonderful speaker by the name of Teddy Teo. He's 682-3. He's one of our technical team members. And for Teddy, he's got a very big, productive, and growing team. And he's got many professionals in his group, some of whom have actually spoken to us, a lot of engineers in his group. So ladies and gentlemen, please keep safe, keep healthy, so that we can see each other again next week, same time, next day. And finally, let's give a round of applause to Connie and all those wonderful people who have helped make today's event a success, especially those who have shared their Kangen experiences. Thank you for Connie for being our guest speaker.
Thank you
Best
so much.
wishes to
Thank
you.
you so much.
More power. I like what you talk about, the selling combs to monks. This reminds me of my younger days when our friends used to scold us or illustrate it to us on why we should be positive. Thank you. Stay safe, be healthy. We see each other again. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Bye-bye.
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 Herman, are we able to unmute everybody so that they can say their goodbyes and thank yous? Sorry, I am not the host. I'm only a co-host. I cannot do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't know just now. I just had to click stop share. I can see myself in the bigger picture. So I was
Yes, we learn, Connie. we learn. I am not a technical man, that's why I'm sorry. I cannot help you that much. Herman could help you then. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll get to see each other again next week, same time.